situation, if we know that doctors are saying that the virus itself is in an inactive state, is dormant when we're trying to isolate it, this is not just that one doctor, but many doctors are saying this. What that's telling me is that if it's not as harmful, what are they dying from? They're dying from the medication, or they're dying from some of the same ailments they've always had. In Africa, for instance, they use the Bungay criteria, which they started in 1985, which was a way of them not even giving them a test. Those people do not have that many AIDS cases in Africa. It's just a Bungay criteria that says if you got herpes, or if you got malaria, if you got these different combinations, we can call it AIDS without an AIDS diagnosis. The same kind of stuff is happening here, because remember, in 1 year, the AIDS cases right here in America went up 135% for the black population.
So what you're saying is that you don't think there is any such thing as AIDS. It's just the diseases that people have always had, and now we're suddenly dying.
I think it's
from
a marker. I think it's a marker to say you have this, just like in a chimpanzee, which they have a SIV.
I mean, you know what? It doesn't matter if I eat chimpanzees or hang out with chimpanzees. I can still get a disease from a chimpanzee. That to me doesn't debunk anything.
Well,
but what I'm not understanding what you're saying. You're saying there is no HIV. We have a whole bunch of other diseases that are getting lumped under HIV.
Exactly. What I'm saying is this: there is
and
something.
now people just started dying.
There is something that can be identified as HIV if they want to look for the virus in the body. But in reference to all they're looking for is mainly antibodies. And if a person's T cell count is below 200, they're also considered AIDS.
Okay, Dr. Brooks, please respond.
Yeah, there are a lot of things there. First of all, in terms of the origins, there are a lot of theories about the origin, but it is generally accepted that the HIV virus did come from monkeys, A. B, there was a lot of eating or consumption of monkeys in Africa. Not a lot, but some.
That's not common.
No, but this virus came from a long time ago, and then there's a lot of information about this, just so it's clear. And it is very difficult for viruses to jump from monkey to human, but it can happen just as if when you had the flu, the swine flu.
And the mad cow.
And the mad cow, well, slightly different virus, but the avian flu, the bird flu, that one, H1N1. Those things can happen. And unfortunately, in this particular case, it did happen. So I just want the public out there to be clear that there is a condition called HIV. It is a deadly condition if untreated. I'm hearing that the medications are having, the major effect. But if you think about it, people get diagnosed with this before they even start on medications. When they get medications, they get better. All medications do have side effects.
Those medications, those side effects are brutal. I know lots of folks on those medications. It's not just like, itchy skin. I mean, we're talking about massively debilitating, horrible side effects.
Right, and it'd be nicer if you didn't have to suffer from that and did not have to take them at all, if they had medications that had less side effects. But and
then some people that take the medications die anyway.
And
like my friend Eric, he was on the medications and he passed. And this is a man who barely made 30.
Right, and that's kind of why, again, the real push on World AIDS Day will be prevention. In terms of sex, wear a condom. And IV drug use.
Can we agree on that, Thabiti? That if you wear a condom, you're less likely to get AIDS or get one of the diseases you already had that could cause you to die?
I'm a proponent of safe sex, so I'm not against that. What I'm saying is that we're looking at one cause and one effect, and there is a lot of things that are going on. Just like I was mentioning before, in 1993, if you had a T cell count that was below 200, you're also considered AIDS without even seeing an AIDS virus. So I'm saying the definition keeps changing whenever the rates go down, and we know the rates went down in 1993 if you look at statistics. And
what is your point about that? You're saying it's being manipulated?
It is being manipulated.
And what is your answer to that, Dr. Brooks?
Well, first of all, doctors, we're not paid for by drug companies. I would prefer not to use medication, and my general approach to medicine, I use medications if I have to. In HIV, you have to. But there are a lot of conditions where you don't even use medication. I mean, that's my approach to medicine.
Some doctors do take vacations on pharmaceutical company dimes. I mean, I know it's not as common as it used to be, but a lot of doctors get those little samples, and they're always trying to push something on you.
Right, but technically speaking, the law has changed a lot, where now they can't even take you on vacation. They can't even give you a pen anymore. The influence that the pharmaceutical companies have has vastly reduced, and it's not. We don't treat and do this for the utilization of the medication. It's more of a hassle. You give people medication, they come back with side effects. You got to get them cleared by an insurance company. It'd be a lot easier not to have to prescribe the medications. But just, again, for the public, it's simple. HIV is caused by a virus. If you have it, you want to know that you have it by getting tested. And if you have it, you need to be treated.
Can you tell us what medical document proves that HIV causes AIDS?
There are probably 200 to 300. Probably, I take that back. There are probably thousands. But for those who need the information, and it is footnoted, if you just go to Wikipedia, or if you just type HIV and go to Wikipedia, which will come up second or third in terms of references, you will find 95 references to scientific articles to back up the information
and it's
that
been
is there.
observed in a laboratory setting.
No, we're talking about people in the community. The number one cause of death among African Americans, 25 to 44, is HIV.
I'm going to hit these phones, folks, because we have a lot of people that want to talk to you already, which is a great thing. Ashley from Monrovia, good morning. You're on the front page with Dr. Oliver Brooks and Thabiti Umoja. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi, you're on the radio.
Yes, hi. So I have my uncle died from AIDS, and, my comment was that, you guys were talking about the medication. He was on medication, but one of the things we had noticed with him was when he was on the medication, different things started happening, like he started getting yelling over the eyes and stuff. And we were just like, and we kept asking the doctors, and then the doctor says, well, it's probably from the medication. And, he suffered for a long time, but, it was just like one of those things where I'm very cautious because I've had so much. So it's kind of like one of those things where I'm the medication.
So what's your question, Ashley, or what's your comment, or how can we help you today?
My question is, like, I'm trying to understand regarding AIDS, because at that time I was very young. I wasn't.
And I'm sorry about your uncle, by the way, too. That's just hurtful, awful. So you're trying to understand whether he should have been on the medication at all, or what was the role of the medication, or I'm not sure what you're trying to understand, or why do you have to lose your uncle, which I don't think we can help you with that.
Oh, I'm just trying to find out. My question is, I'm trying to understand more about AIDS, because I don't understand. I was told a lot, and I've seen a lot of the stuff, but I don't know much. It's kind of sad because I didn't get to really know my uncle at the time.
That is sad.
I can answer that just real brief. She wants to know about HIV/AIDS. It's a virus. It attacks the immune system. It makes your body more prone to getting infections. Infections can kill you, and a lot of people that die from HIV or from AIDS die from infections that normally you wouldn't die from. And B, in terms of the yellowing, that either could have been, that's usually liver disease, and it either could have been from the medications, which the medications can have that effect, or it could have been some infection that got into the liver, like hepatitis. So it's not easy to say why. I do feel bad for your uncle, however, and people die every day from AIDS.
And I would say that investigate, virusmyth.com is one place you can go and start seeing a real different perspective, and you can realize that there's ways that a person can heal themselves, and there's a lot of people out there that have changed their diagnosis.
Okay, we're going to talk about that because that's also controversial, what you just said, Thabiti. We're going to take more of your phone calls, 520-KJLH, 520-5554. HIV and AIDS in the spotlight as World AIDS Day is tomorrow. Dr. Oliver Brooks, MD, Thabiti Umoja, iridologist from Simply Wholesome, and you. It's the front page, Total Talk Expression, Radio Free 102.3 and KJLH.
Introducing a different mindset. The front page, Radio Free 102.3 KJLH.
Fibroids can affect more than a woman's health.
Just imagine trying to have sex with your husband, and it was just always painful. I was always trying to figure out a way to get out of it.
Crystal didn't want to live like that. Her doctor said,
well, you're going to need to come in on such and such a day, and we're going to scrape them out.
Which almost sounded worse than no sex.
I ended up talking to a girlfriend of mine, and she said, don't do it. They have this whole new procedure called embolization.
Crystal went to the Fibroid Treatment Collective, the medical experts who pioneered embolization, a safe, non-surgical fibroid treatment.
I stayed overnight one night. I went home the next day.